Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and I got some great news for you guys, just to know. So like I said, I always do my best to investigate every little corner and give you guys the news firsthand, or even a little bit later, just to make sure everything is not a rumor and is absolutely accurate. First off, let me start off by saying, make sure you guys watch the, you guys requested for me to do miniseries. So I did already finish the miniseries on how to build a gaming computer. I know I sound like a broken record on everything because I keep repeating it, but it's something I want if somebody were to walk into this to see it right now. So I finished just up about 2 weeks ago. Every Sunday I was releasing an episode of how to build a gaming computer on the cheap, anywhere retail price of $1,500 to $3,000, and you could build it on the cheap. Be sure to check out that playlist on my channel. The next one is going to start next month, and I'm going to do also a sweepstakes for you guys. But next month I'm going to show you guys how to build a Star Killer helmet, or and I'm looking up because I put it up on my shelf, a Star Killer helmet or a Iron Man helmet from beginning to end on a 3D printer with paint and everything. And I will be doing in the end of that a sweepstakes to give you that Star Killer helmet to the lucky winner, whoever wins. I wish I could make one for each and every one of you guys, but obviously it's extremely time consuming. This thing takes about 4 to 7 days to just make, and then you have to paint, and it takes about a month to make, till I figure out something a little bit more quicker. Maybe I could build up several more and then give more, but that'll be the sweepstakes for that. I'll also do another sweepstakes that's going to follow up after that. In the next mini-series after, I'm going to show you guys how to build a gaming / post-production / productivity desk that is a retail value of anywhere from $900 to $1,500, but I'm going to show you guys how to build it for a little bit over $300 or a little bit over $400, and I'll do a sweepstakes for that for a Nintendo Switch dock that I 3D printed, which kind of holds it, and I'll do another one for controllers, as I gave out before in that sweepstakes, and I'll make it, you know, really nice. It'll look really cool, so I'm going to do a sweepstakes for that as well. So definitely keep those requests coming for the mini-series, any mini-series you want me to do, and based on the magnitude of that, since I'm self-funded, I wish I could do everything, but whatever is the magnitude, the highest rated one, that one will be the one I will work on for you guys, and I will do an entire series and a sweepstakes after that, of course. As always, if you guys like this video, as always, definitely help the channel because I'm self-funded, subscribe, and hit that bell button, as many more, you know, good videos, honest videos to come. Also, I'd like to hear comments down below. So now let's go right into this baby. So some news came in, and I literally investigated each and every one of them, and I can verify that in coming out. As you know, Sega Ages is now, you know, being, technically it already came out for the phones and a bunch of systems and stuff like that, even though it wasn't called that, you know, they called it later on something, and then they called it, they're going to call it that on the Nintendo Switch. So they're releasing games for the Genesis, and basically they said, you know, Genesis games and old games, and they said they're going to wait till a new one is, you know, till they see the request, and based on that, we'll probably see some Saturn games and Dreamcast games. So let's just get into that. First order is Sonic is coming out this month, okay? So a Sonic game, and Thunder Force 4. So we know that's coming out sometime this month. Well, you know, it's going to come anytime actually right now. Then what's coming out next month is going to be Phantasy Star. Okay, now, I don't know about you guys, but I really love the series, especially the one I played on Dreamcast, where you could play online. Now, these things are going to be pretty much the same ported game, I think, from what I saw, but it's going to have some online capabilities. Now, if you remember on the Dreamcast, the online capabilities of certain things like, let's say, Phantasy Star Online was, you know, it was kind of crappy. It was like a 56K modem, tons of lag, tons of dropped. You would get dropped out of a game all the time, and that kind of really frustrated me a lot. I remember when I had the Dreamcast and this baby right here. This is more like the older game of Phantasy Star, but it will possibly have an online. According to the community, that's what everybody's saying. It's going to have an online option where you can play online and so on and so forth. I would love to see a re-release of Phantasy Star, a brand new one, to be honest with you, on the Nintendo Switch, you know, or whatever system, even PC or whatnot. But to have today's online, you know, going into it, because the game was really incredible. I don't know how many of you guys actually played it. Definitely in the comments below, let me know whoever played it. I want to know what you guys thought about it. I really think that game was incredibly amazing. It was one of my favorite games to play, because, you know, World of Warcraft and all other games, you know, MMORPGs weren't exactly big back then. So you had that opportunity to play online, meet up with people, and kick butt and take names. That was a real novel thing at the time. It wasn't, I mean, they had few games that did it, but nobody really cared about it that much. But Phantasy Star was really incredible, Phantasy Star Online. Now, remember, I used to gather up with all my friends and play that stuff, and then we'd get dropped, and I'd get so pissed off, especially in middle of battles or whatever. The lagging got too much, and then you'd get, you know, or somebody calls your house because it was a 56K modem, and man, was it horrible. And I always kind of wished that in the later generations, they would come out with this game that'll be playable and all of that. The Dreamcast version, of course, not this one, but that will be playable. And, you know, it's very nostalgic for me. I really like the series of the whole Phantasy Star lineup. And I just think it'd be really cool to have a brand new one for the Nintendo Switch. Just giving you an idea, Nintendo. Put it out there. Put it out there. Now, another thing, another release date was actually announced for Shenmue 3. Now, if you guys remember, Shenmue 3, even before Sega went all up on it, Shenmue 3 was actually, there was like a Kickstarter for it, or Indiegogo or something. I think it was Kickstarter. And one of my friends actually pre-ordered it, and I love the Shenmue games. Again, Dreamcast. I played part 1, part 2, beat the hell out of it, and really enjoyed that game. I really did. And I really was pissed off when Dreamcast went out of business, Sega went out of business, and went into the software development phase. And I was so ticked off, and I was dreaming that Shenmue 3, maybe it'll come out on PlayStation 2, or PlayStation 3, or whatnot. Never came out, and I was so ticked off because it left us in a cliffhanger, and I was just so pissed that I spent so much of my money on this crap, and then nothing. Now, if you remember, this game was incredible at its time, because you basically could do anything. It was an open world game that you could do anything. You had a job, you go get food. Even they had crazy crap, like if you play the pool game wrong, you have to start the game all over again, which, by the way, I really hated. And but you know, I kind of appreciate it now. A lot of these cool games, you know, came out back then on the Dreamcast. I really loved it, and Shenmue was one of them. And I really, really dug it. And now that we have a part 3, I think it's pretty cool, especially right now when they remastered part 1 and 2. I think, and this Nintendo, you could learn a great deal from that when you release, instead of releasing you know, to release Bayonetta 3, to release all these new games, and people, and then release the older ones, even though they did it kind of different as well. But I think that will enforce people to try to buy the older games, or release them in a package, which I said before. Like, they should have came out with Shenmue 1, 2, and 3 in one big package. So, Shenmue 3, though, from the development team, every time they were showing a little bit of it, the facial animations, the the gameplay was kind of lame a little bit, and now they really polished it, and it's finally a finished game, and it's going to be released in August 27, 2019, okay? So yes, we're talking way later, but that kind of gives you guys the opportunity to buy part 1 and 2, even though I beat the hell out of it. I want it because I forgot a lot of that game. I was really frustrated, I tried to black it out of my memory. I would love to play part 1, wait about a amount of months, play part 2, and then follow it up with this, because I don't want to wait that long, and then go right into Shenmue 3, and then hopefully we'll have a Shenmue 4, and, you know, because I think this one's going to also end, because I remember Sega signed a deal for, I believe it was a 4-package deal at the time, for four Shenmue games, or 5, I don't remember that much about it. I think it was 4. So I know part 3 is going to be a cliffhanger, and then there's going to be a 4th one. And I hope and pray to God they don't wait a billion years like they did over here between 2 and this. What was it, like 15 years or something? I really don't want them to wait even longer, possibly. I'd like them to actually come out with a game like within that year or whatnot, or next year. That would be cool for part 4 to come out. And then I just think that that would enforce people to buy part 1 and 2 now, play it out. Even though I think they should have been released in a package deal and released earlier. I do think it's very smart that they're releasing it now on the 19th. 2019th of August 27. So like that, people will be kind of forced to go buy 1 and 2, even if you beat the hell out of it. I'm sure most of us forgot most of it and want to kind of get into the flow of it. So we'll be able to have that opportunity to play it out, and by the time we're done, if you remember, it was a very big game, and you kind of want to take your sweet-ass time with it. I love to take my time with it. I wasn't, in a rush or anything. I completely explored the entire towns, every little thing, and it was just so freaking cool. And to be able to play that again and then go in a remastered version, and I'm sure I'm going to think that it's like, probably even the remastered one doesn't look as good as today's games, but whatever. But then we're going to go into Shenmue 3, and all of a sudden everything's going to be popping out, and it's going to look really, really cool. I really dig that. So I'm definitely looking forward to the Shenmue, the Shenmue game coming out. Now we're going to go into one of my favorite games, and I know it's not going to come out for the Switch. Okay, it's a very big Sony game, but it is coming out for PC, for the PlayStation 4. And, whatever games. I hope it one day they will come out to the Switch. I really wish they do. Devil freaking May Cry. Devil May Cry 5. I love all the Devil May Cry series. I think 3 was actually my favorite. I gotta say that. But all the Devil May Cry series is one of my favorites. Even the mobile app that absolutely sucked, I bought it and I loved it. Okay, I love the Devil May Cry games. That's why I love the Bayonetta series. It was basically, you know what? Up yours, Sony. We're going to make our own. We're going to make a stripper-like character and have an answer to Devil May Cry, and we're going to call it Bayonetta, okay? And Bayonetta 1 and 2, and of course I'm waiting for Part 3. All of those games I really dig and love. The bosses kind of all look the same also. Kind of freak you a little bit, but coming out on March 8th, 2019, and I can't wait for this game to come out. I wish it could have came a little bit sooner. Again, maybe they want you to buy part 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and just play it again and do it. But I really love that game so much, and I think it's long overdue. They should have came out with this game a little bit before. But I'm hoping one day Nintendo Switch does take that on. Now here we go. Even though they said this thing is coming out on October 12th, 2018, Luigi's Mansion. Now, I know some of you guys are going to laugh at me and say, you're crazy. I don't like Luigi's Mansion. I always loved Luigi's Mansion. I loved it from the GameCube days. I don't know, I just dug it. I thought the game is really cool. It was like a little scary, whatever. I think that they should have came out with it in October 31st on Halloween. That would have been much cooler, or even a little bit before. I guess October 12th, whatever, 2018. But get this, guys. I'm a little bit ticked off, a little bit pissed here. Remember what I told you when I was showing you the stock portfolio of each system and showing you how the Nintendo Wii U is actually beat it in sales for software, and also the 3DS beat the Nintendo Switch in software, and how you can actually take that money from them and put it on the Nintendo Switch and make them achieve higher goals and everything. And they said that they were, they're going to be phasing out the 3DS. Well, it doesn't look like they're showing any signs of that, because they're releasing Luigi's Mansion straight up for the 3DS. Now, I'm a little bit miffed about this, because I think, okay, we should release something, to the 3DS. There's no doubt about it. But I think it would have been so much cooler if they would have released it also for the Nintendo Switch. The fact that, and I'm not talking about a cheesy-ass port. I don't want no cheesy ports anymore. I think all of us that own a freaking Nintendo Switch are tired of freaking ports. Okay, we like it. Whatever, it's coming out. We're sick of it. We want system sellers, people. We want exclusive games that are out just for the Switch. And if you release something for the 3DS, I mean, I'm not talking about a port like when it comes out for that and then you port it to the Switch. That's stupid. I'm talking about come out with 2 games like they did with SmackDown versus Raw when they had it for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, or PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, or PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Come out with the same game, but a better version looking game for the Nintendo Switch, and a 3DS version the same. Instead, they completely abandoned it for the Nintendo Switch. Again, no system seller. And then they wonder why they can't sell worldwide, why they're failing. Okay, they are reaching that 20 million mark. But, they reached the 20 million mark, but they're reaching the next, they gave themselves another 20 million. How do you make that other 20 million? And they're complaining about why they don't have worldwide domination when they're only in Japan and America and a few other countries, but they're not worldwide. The reason behind it is you still have a lot in America, even a lot of my family, friends, and a bunch of people on forums that said they will not get a Switch because everything is ported. Everything is ported there, and there's no exclusive games for the Switch, so there's no point. Even Zelda Breath of the Wild, which, let's face it, was one of the most amazing games ever, is for the Nintendo Wii U. And some person, you know, there's Nintendo Wii U's, according to the stock in the quarterly, I showed you guys the actual numbers, actually sold a ton of systems. So we have an issue here. We have a big problem. And the problem is Nintendo's not seeing this. So instead of releasing something exclusively for the Nintendo Switch, or even the same for the 3DS and Nintendo Switch, they abandon the Nintendo Switch and say, oh, we'll come out with the Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. Now remember, I'm not taking this out of the equation. There's still going to be another Direct coming out soon before the end of the year. Okay, so don't forget about that. So maybe they'll make an announcement, but why come out for the Nintendo Switch way later? Because we all know that's going to be a stupid port. There's no point of doing this. Or maybe they're working on it a little bit, or whatever. I think they should release them both in October, see what happens. But if you release Luigi's Mansion and say March, it's going to be a very stupid move for Nintendo. I do get the point that they have Super Smash Brothers coming out, and they're coming out with a Pokemon game, and they kind of want to stretch it out a little bit. But come on, y'all. I mean, if you're coming out with that, you might as well then prolong that too, and make the Luigi's Mansion, instead of October 12th, make it come out in March or whatever when the Switch comes out. But to release it on the 3DS and then you wonder why you guys are not selling, why you're not converting a lot of the 3DS people and Wii U people into the Switch. You know, you don't have to look far. You see exactly how stupid your marketing system is. And I mean, we could all agree on that. I'm sure everybody does, because everybody on the forums are saying the same thing. So I was a little bit miffed that it's not coming out for the Switch. I love the Luigi Mansion series. I have, you know, Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS. I actually have it. And I kind of wanted to see a very improved version with brand new graphics and everything and all that cool stuff coming out for the Nintendo Switch, but I guess we're not going to have that as of now. There's no announcement for it. So anyways, October 12th, 2018, Luigi's Mansion is coming out for the 3DS. As always, guys, self-funded here. If you like what you see, please like, comment. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about all this, and what do you guys have to say about Luigi's Mansion? Would you have liked to seen it come out for the Nintendo Switch? Would you think that what I'm saying is correct, that they should have released it at the same time? Also, if you like what you see self-funded here, just like the video, subscribe, hit the bell button, as many more videos to come, including mini-series and a bunch of other cool stuff. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.